Corla, there's a huge housing and homeless crisis out there, and it's devastating families and damaging children. The 10,000 protesters that have raised the roof outside the Dáil today is an indication of the depth of that crisis. And that protest today is the start of a massive national campaign which will include work stoppages demanding the building of social and affordable houses on public lands. That protest today was supported by the Irish Congress of Trade Unions, all affiliated trade unions, the Union of Students in Ireland, the National Women's Council, housing NGOs and opposition political parties. Minister, it is blindingly obvious that private market has failed and failed utterly. And it is also blindingly obvious that 7 years of Fine Gael, Labour Party and Independent Alliance housing policy has also failed and is damaging children and families further. The time for talking is well and truly over, and the 10,000 homeless and the 100,000 families on local authority lists are demanding action now. And the key action, to my mind, identified in this motion is the declaration by the Oireachtas of a housing and homelessness emergency. And that means that the Oireachtas Minister must pass legislation declaring such an emergency. Yes, it will, and indeed it must, curtail the rights of private property. But this is not new. It's not unique. It has already been done by a government of yourselves and the Labour Party, the last government, which introduced an emergency and the FEMPI regulations which interfered with the private property of pensioners. What will an emergency do for this crisis? It will do 3 or 4 very key things. First of all, it will allow the government to stop all evictions by banks, building societies, vulture funds and landlords. And we know that evictions into homelessness is what's driving the whole homelessness situation. It will allow the government to reduce and to freeze rents. It will allow the government to fast-track the compulsory purchase of vacant properties, and it will allow, finally, Ceann Comhairle, the government to commence an emergency large-scale public, local authority, social and affordable house building programme. Public housing on public land, Minister. Do it, and do it now.
Thank you. Now, Deputy McBarry, sharing.